Hello there, YouTubers. Today I'll talk about a beautiful event that happened in my life just recently. It's about holiday making. On Wednesday, my daughter Caroline asked me if I and Mom will be doing anything great on Friday. I said, no, you'll be at home helping with your younger sister's baby. And then she left it at that. I checked into my astrological chart, and for that particular time, Jupiter was touching my natal moon, and it means something beautiful concerning children, which happened. My youngest daughter gave birth to a baby girl named Cleo. Then also, when Jupiter touched the moon, means some happiness in the home, some beautiful news or happening concerning family members, home matters, and since it rules the feeling, relationship should improve tremendously. Also at that particular time, the Sun rules life and routine, while Mercury rules news, information, communication, ideas, intelligence. Touches Venus, the planet of love, happiness, rejoicing, and beautiful things. Being in the third house that rules again neighboring environment, communication, interviews, meetings, and working out ideas. Came Thursday. My daughter Caroline handed me 2 tickets. She said, Dad, this ticket is for you and Mom. I want you to take a day trip to Margaret River from Perth City. We were surprised, and since we are free for that day, it came in as a wonderful blessing. We thank her very much. And by the way, Caroline is one who is very much from the heart. She will go broke just to make her dear one, loved one, and close ones happy. She's very unconditional with her kindness. Maybe she may not talk money, but money don't make sense to her most of the time when it comes to loved ones. We boarded this tour bus from the King's Hotel, or at the site of the King's Hotel, and it left at 8 in the morning. 2.5 hours later, into the ride, we reached Busselton. It was a beautiful jewel of a town that seemed to have all that old time goodness. You still see wonderful farms, you still see people. It's like as if it's a gold rush town where people are starting to take stakes in that place. Shops are blossoming all over, and it all happened according to the tour in the last few years. I fell in love with the town. I enjoy the beaches and the water side. Beautiful sand. Then we went on to this lavender farm. It was so fragrant, and some smart pioneers started to make perfume and soap and whatever else. I was even surprised to find that they had lavender wine. The next trip was on straight to Margaret River. It was also a small town and still had their old ways about it. I thought it would have been like the Ohio River or something, but the river was pretty small, or maybe it was the small part of it that was shown to me, but it was small and it was practically dried up for this season, which is supposed to be the hottest season. Went around town, did some videotaping of the town, looking at the easiness and layback most people are over there. It gives me that good feeling. And I felt that I would be happily retired in that town. And seeing it grow, like going back to my past and coming back into the future again. And I enjoyed it, loved it. I admired the tour guide because of his commentary about the water which the farmer had to use for irrigation, and they ain't so lucky like us in town when we just turn on the tap. And all the other details about farming, about the trees, the crop, and so on like that. I even told him, you sounded like a history professor. And he felt shy and said, no, I tried my best. And I said, I love your commentary. And he said, thank you very much. Then on the way back, we went to a lake cave. There was a cave there. I think it's called Lake Cave. In we went. And believe you me, outside is a hot sunny day. And inside, it is as if it is with aircon. And I understand there's no such thing as aircon being put into the cave. It was its natural goodness. And it was so cold that I had to use my coat or jacket just to keep myself warm, and my wife too. Now, in this cave, there were all the beautiful things that are happening to it through the evolution of time. You see, what looks to me like an elephant trunk jutting out, and he said, oh, those are things that happened thousands of years ago. I had 2 questions to ask of the guide, and he said, one, I asked him when was it discovered, and he said it was in the late 1890s, and it was opened in the 1910, I believe, for guided tours and so on like that till today. And I asked him whether there was any artwork in the cave. He said no, this cave it hadn't been inhabited, it was just plain. Then we came down to what was to him an Amazon forest of Australia, meaning it is highly dense, seated by all these big trees that are thousands of years old and hundreds of years old. So I took some picture over it, and according to him it had been bushfire not too long ago, and so quickly nature has rejuvenated itself. Then from there again we went down back to Bustleton. We went to the lighthouse, some Dutch lighthouse, Louis or something like that. Took some pictures, looked around, and I felt like as if I could have been in Scotland or in the hilly mountains of the European country, overlooking the sea and the different meeting points of water. Back to Bustleton again, had our dinner, And the tour guide came up to me and asked me how I enjoyed the tour. I told him it was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And on the way back from Bustleton into Perth City, it was about 2.5 hours drive. He off his light in the bus. I fell asleep, and before I know it, I was back into the King's Hotel, waiting to be picked up by my wife and myself, was back to the King's Hotel. My daughter was there to fetch us. We told her how much we enjoyed the thing, hug her, kiss her, and thank her for that opportunity to be so happy. And with that, I end this segment. My name is Rugdee from the Royal Astrologers.